Hello and welcome back to Gunpla Rush, everyone. Today we are checking out the full Armor Dussack, the Red Knight, as requested by Master Daniel M on YouTube. This thing is amazing because it's not a typical frame arm style kit like I usually see these things coming in, and it matches some of the high resolution kits in some areas. However, that being said, it does have a few drawbacks which we're going to talk about today. Most of you that are subscribed, and if you're not, you should definitely subscribe if you want more of this content. Most of you that watch my channel on a regular basis know that we like to review these things based off of their price, the quality of the item, and how much time it takes to build it based off of your skill level on building Gunpla and model kits. So with all that being said, let's get right into the video and talk about the price. Now, I did buy this guy quite a while ago, so it was hard for me to recall the price, but I believe he cost me about 60 bucks to 70 bucks when I bought him at my local hobby store. But if you go on to the actual Gundam USA store, you can see the last price point he was at was about $45 at the making of this video. And honestly, that's a really good price point for how good this kit is if you can find it for 45 bucks, because it is taller than most MG Gundam kits, which is a master grade Gundam 1/100 scale. This guy is also in a 1/100 scale, but again, he is a bit taller. With all that said, let's move on to the quality. The quality of this guy is really good, but some of the pieces can be a bit frustrating to put together if you are inexperienced with building model kits, so I do not suggest him for a beginner. But if you are used to building model kits and you've built at least one or two MG kits first, I definitely suggest trying this one out, as he has a lot of different takes on how to assemble like the chest and the limbs of a model kit in this robot kind of style. But he definitely has some features that you can only find with this kit. Some of the plastic is a little bit thin in some areas, but for the most part he holds up pretty well, and even for a kit this size, he's not too heavy for my shelf, so he does stand up on his own. He comes with a lot of really cool stuff like the sword, some of the green transparent pieces on his armor and head, and you can pose him in a bunch of different positions, but mainly the upper torso is more posable. So the lower half of him is posable, but I don't suggest trying to mess with it too much, as there's a lot of armor on the front of the legs and it can be a bit persnickety. That being said, he is not a frame arms kit, as I said at the beginning of the video, but basically this guy, you actually have to build him like a Gunpla, so you'll be building all of the joints, all of the leg parts, everything from top to bottom you actually have to build. The swords are something that I was just a tiny bit disappointed in, as they are not silver or anything like that. With a kit that's usually this high quality, I kind of started to expect, you know, like an RG kit where the metals look more metal, but the swords are white. You can paint them, and it's not expensive to get a little $3 bottle of silver paint for model kits. That's usually how much it costs me for the little $3 glass jar of those, and it looks really good once you paint it. But definitely if you are into collecting stuff that's other than Gunpla, so you like collecting things that are not just Gundams and you want to add this to your shelf, I highly suggest it. But let's move on to the time. How much time did it take me to build this? As I said, it did build this quite a while ago, and I am reviewing it because I already had it in my collection and it was requested by a subscriber. That being said, I would also suggest that if you guys have any Gunpla kits you want me to review or do speed builds of, put it in the comments below. But this guy took me probably, if I remember correctly, about 5 hours to put together, maybe 7 hours, because of the amount of detail that he has and the fact that you're actually going to be building each core piece. Now, even if this kind of kit took me a little while, because as I looked back through the manual, I can kind of see the build process of him. This guy took me about 7 hours total. So if you're new to building Gunpla, this guy would probably take you about a week to build, maybe 3 days or something like that. If you are regularly building MG kits, this guy will not be a problem for you at all. But that being said, you really do need to trim the edges of all the pieces before trying to assemble anything, because this is one of those kits whereas if you have even a tiny piece of plastic between any of the cracks, it'll kind of like warp whatever part that you are trying to squeeze together. So make sure you trim all the little pieces off the runners really well with this one. And other than that, it's an amazing kit, guys. I definitely suggest adding it to your collection if you can find it for a decent price. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, subscribe if you want more model kit and Gunpla kit content. There's also another Gundam video right here.